Howdy y'all, hope you had a good day. Silver Trade here again with another video. Today was the lowest volume day since May 1st. Only about 8 million volume on the day. And look right here, we had red day, red day, red day, low volume day right here, and then it started picking up. We've had a couple of red days and a couple of low volume and then a really low volume today. Very interesting. And to anybody who doesn't know, there's a whole army of people on Reddit that have been sending the SEC like documents and DD and research and posts about the whole GameStop situation. There's a ton of people sending the SEC emails about that all the time. And the International Olympic Committee decided to start doing some esports. And the guy that did the RC interview is now the head of the social media at GameStop. This guy, Joe Cielo. Very interesting. Today on XRT, we had 90% short, 95% short, 84% short, 86% short, and 83% short, or an average of 87.6, which is very high on the average for short volume on XRT. We normally don't see numbers this high, but remember, none of this is financial advice. Today we had a whole bunch of call buying. We had 12,000 calls bought at the $30 strike, and we've had a lot of calls being bought at the $30 strike for various dates out. Whole lot of calls being bought. Our max pain was at $25.50, but now max pain is at $25 per share. And max pain, for anybody who is unaware, is where there is the most amount of option contracts on the exchange, or for that ticker, but lots of calls were bought today. And open interest, we got a ton. We got 9K at the 27, 8K at the 28, 29,000 at the $30. And this is interesting because these weren't all bought today, but maybe somebody is looking really deep into the charts and they know we're not going to go above $30 per share. So this is somebody selling a whole bunch of calls. If somebody were to sell even just 12,000 calls, like we had a 12,000 calls that were transferred at the $30 strike today, that would be $180,000 for just holding those shares and it not getting above $30 per share by Friday. 180 grand just for letting those shares be borrowed. And Secret Service Director resigned. There's a couple of different ways to look at this. On one side of the thing right here, we did have extremely low volume for a couple of days, and then a little bit more low volume, but a green day, and that started working in its favor. Right here we have a similar situation, but not quite as low volume, but the volume has been working its way down, and low volume equals good for some reason, but please remember none of this is financial advice. On the monthly, we're above the 50% on the RSI, the MACD is crossed, and we broke out of this wedge. We just need to get above this 50-day moving average. And we really need to get to about $27 per share to get above that. On the weekly chart, it's still looking good. We came up, we fell back below. It's been holding strong at this 23 support, and now it's working its way back up towards that 200 day. And if we can get through that on the weekly, we're going to be looking good. But on the daily, we fell below all the moving averages. We're on the bottom half of the Bollinger Bands. RSI is coming up above the 50 though, just barely, but the MACD is crossing the wrong way. And on the 4 hour, we came up, got rejected by the midline pretty hard, and now we fell through these moving averages. And we're below the 50 on the RSI, and then this is also crossing bullishly. But on the 1 hour, it really shows a lot more weakness in the short time frame, because we fell below the 50% on the RSI, and the MACD, it looks about used up. But the MACD is not a huge indicator, don't rely on that one as much. But since we're below the 50 on the Bollinger Band and on the RSI, there's a lot of confluences here that tell you in the short term, it doesn't look great, but in the long term, it doesn't look bad. Please remember, none of this was financial advice. Thank you guys so much, every one of y'all. God bless you and have a good day.